The patch notes for Season 4 just dropped for Delta Force and we're going to go through it. I have my coffee and I hope that you have yours because there is a lot of information here. I'll try to get through it as quickly as I can. As usual, there will be a link in the description down below if you want to go and read the entirety of the patch notes for yourselves. So the first thing that's important is the launch time. So as of April 21st at midnight 30 UTC plus 0, all the ranked matches will be temporarily unavailable, and at 2 AM UTC plus 0, the PC version update will be live. So about an hour and a half to update the game. So that would be 10 PM EDT or 7 PM Pacific time. Alright, let's get stuck into it. So I'm going to go through the new content first because it is part of the patch notes just for people that might not be aware of this stuff. So there's going to be obviously a new operator called Hélie de Montbel, codename Nox. Operator role Assault, operator specialty Deep Trauma. In operations, enemies damaged by Nox will take longer to use medical supplies for healing and be revived when downed. In warfare, it increases the delay before their health automatically regenerates after leaving combat. So that's his passive. Tactical gear, Silent Assault, so that's his ultimate. Activates a disruptor signal that significantly reduces Nox's sound emissions and boosts movement speed while interfering with nearby enemies. While active in operations, recon items will only detect the disruptor's starting location and Nox will be undetectable in warfare. The first gadget, Whirlwind Disc, throws a small tracking drone that explodes when it gets close to enemies, dealing damage, inflicting wounds, and slowing them down. It locks onto targets faster when attacking from behind. If no target is locked, it will explode after a short delay. The second gadget is the Tactical Flashbang. It throws a flashbang grenade that detonates upon hitting a surface, blinding and stunning all enemies in the vicinity. How to unlock it will be available in the free tier of the Season Pass, so I would imagine it's going to be at level 15. So one thing they didn't mention during their live stream is that Trench Lions will be getting a night mode, which is awesome. I really didn't think they were going to have any night maps in Warfare because they didn't talk about it during the dev stream. So the fight moves into dusk and night, where reduced visibility creates a more intense and immersive battle. There's a new night call-in attack item that has been added, the night vision device. Don't know if you can just get it right off the rip, you just have to call it in, or if you need to get a certain amount of points, but yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. There's also going to be a limited time mode for Warfare, so Victory Unite Warfare, which unfortunately only drops on May 30th. So it's a 20v20 mode, it's available to players above a specific rank. From what I remember, I believe it's General, but yeah, don't quote me on that. So for each team, there'll be a elected commander that has access to, team-wide voice channels, marking systems, and support options to allocate resources and guide their team to victory. So similar to games like Hell Let Loose or Squad captains can talk to the commanders via a specific voice channel to facilitate the communication between them. The commander can also use tactical markers on the map screen to precisely pinpoint locations and convey their plans. And then call-in attacks, 2 new commander exclusive call-in attacks have been added, marking high-value objectives and marking high threat vehicles. So this helps the team just figure out what they should do in terms of priorities to make sure that they can get that victory. Moving on to the new vehicle, the GTQ-35LT. So it's basically a tank with improved mobility and steering. It can deploy autonomous UAVs for scouting and demolition, and features explosive reactive armor on its sides for damage reduction. The driver's seat is equipped with a 105mm main cannon and light/heavy machine guns, while the main cannon is upgradable to tracking missiles, which is interesting. There's also a complete weapon station that can be upgraded to a composite station, allowing seamless switching between the coaxial machine guns and grenade launchers. Next, we have the Flamethrower. So this gadget will be available to 2 classes, the Assault and the Engineer class. Not a whole lot of information on this. Curious to see how powerful or how underpowered it's going to be. We're also getting a nighttime map for operations, so Zero Dam Night, offering 3 difficulty settings: Dusk, Long Night, and Evernight. The map will feature very few light sources and extremely low visibility. Utilize gear and items like NVDs or thermal vision to gain crucial information. They also implemented something called Operations Mode Roulette, albeit I think they already had rotating maps, but I digress. I don't really play operations. So the permanent maps will be Zero Dam Easy and Normal, Lealie Grove Easy, and then there'll be rotating maps, Zero Dam Night, Long Night, Lealie Grove Normal, Space City Normal, Hard, and Brakesh Normal. And they have specific rotation times that you can see on screen right now, but they're also available in the patch notes. We're also getting 2 brand new weapons, the K437 Assault Rifle and the 725 Double Barrel Shotgun. with the double barrel shotgun being able to use Dragon's Breath rounds, but only in operations, which is kind of a letdown to be honest. They're also implementing a new ammo caliber, so 300 blackout, which I would imagine is going to fit in the K437 and hopefully other guns in the near future. And of course, with nighttime mode, NVD or night vision devices. No clue on how many different devices there will actually be in terms of variations, but according to the patch notes, there's only an image of 1 in 3 distinct colors. There's also a new system and new, in quotations, leaderboards. Now, leaderboards aren't actually new because you've probably seen them in game before, but basically there'll be a global leaderboard and a friends leaderboard for new categories for both operations and warfare. So operations will have rank, extraction value, and operator kills, and then warfare will feature 4 categories: merit, operator kills, capture point contribution, and healing contribution. So expanding what we currently have right now, which is solely based on merit. For all the operation players out there, there'll be a season mission update. So S3 season mission reset. All progress on season 3 missions will be reset and cleared. Any ultimate safe box season access obtained from previous season, along with any unused 1-day, 2-day, and 3x3x trial cards will expire and become invalid. Season 4 mission line update. A brand new mission line for Season 4 is available, offering 77 new season missions for operators to tackle. Season mission optimization. For missions with the condition mission progress will reset if extraction fails. Once the mission reaches mission complete status during a battle, progress will no longer be reset due to extraction failure or early departure. I would imagine that was kind of a pain point. Season mission XP reward adjustment. As season missions and department missions already provide significant supplies and experience rewards, the battlefield experience awarded by future season missions will be reduced by 50% of the original amount. So now we're getting a little bit more into the nitty-gritty of the patch notes. So starting off with in-game combat and level improvement in warfare. So for Threshold AD, there's going to be a new map event added where C1 sector will collapse and be destroyed after being hit by multiple guided missiles, transforming into a neutral objective. So due to these terrain changes, the operation's password location within the C1 objective will be slightly adjusted. Again, Threshold AD, an in-match event has been added where if the attacking team's troop force strength in Zone C drops below 75, air support bombing will be triggered, opening a new attack route to the C2 objective. Threshold AD, the balance of the C2 objective area has been adjusted. The redeployment cooldown for attackers' assault vehicles has been reduced to 40 seconds across all sectors. The score requirement for guided missiles has been lowered to 17,000. Threshold King of the Hill, the redeployment cooldown for assault vehicles has been reduced to 40 seconds for both teams. The wheeled tank destroyer has been replaced with a light tank, so that's a new vehicle. For trench lines, the left mountainside area has been adjusted, the playable area expanded, and several fight positions have been optimized. Hopefully this fixes the problem of just tanks camping on the hills for the uncappable area on like D and E side. But yeah, I guess we'll have a better idea of this when we get into it. Trench line King of the Hill again. The overall playable area has been added and a new capture point has also been added. Trench lines AD, the attacker's wheeled tank destroyer in the 4th sector has been replaced with a light tank. Trainwreck AD, the attacker's wheeled tank destroyer in the 1st sector has been replaced with a light tank. Trainwreck King of the Hill, a light tank has been added. Building destruction. So shattered debris will now inflict damage on characters, which is interesting. The recon helicopter, all redeployment times have been adjusted to 150 seconds. The LAV-25 and the AA, all redeployment times have been adjusted to 90 seconds. On Ascension, Cracked, and Trench Lines, Hill of Iron mode, so that's like the all tank mode. On PC, the number of main battle tanks has been reduced by 2, and 2 light tanks have been added. On mobile, the number of main battle tanks has been reduced by 1, and 1 light tank has been added. For Trainwreck, Hill of Iron mode, the number of main battle tanks has been reduced by 2, and 2 light tanks have been added. Match results, the panel has been optimized and multi-dimensional mission lists and progress displays have been added for armory, operator growth, operator achievement, operator recruitment, and collection appearances. So that's a lot of information here, but yeah, we're just going to see once we actually get to finish a match. Vehicle balance adjustments. The explosion radius of the shrapnel shell has been reduced and its cooldown increased. The speed and acceleration of the wire-guided missile have been increased. The vehicle collision speed calculation has been optimized to reduce collision damage within certain speed ranges. So if you're using a quad or like the assault vehicle, it would get damaged really easily, so this is to mitigate that. Character combat actions, the lean peak firing mechanic has been improved to address issues where certain actions would cause opponents to expose only a very small portion of their head or side. Character mobility, the movement during vaulting has been improved to reduce movement penalties. Airdrop vehicles, a score inflation coefficient has been added for repeatedly calling in airdrop vehicles, meaning subsequent requests will cost more points, similar to the missile column that we have right now. Throwable display, the warning icons for throwables that pose a threat to characters have been optimized. They will now appear as an outline when behind walls, making them easier to spot. PC custom throw and deploy method. In the settings menu under the control and combat section, PC players can now choose between quick throw, hold, and default methods for certain tactical gadgets and warfare class gadgets. They give us an example here with quick throw enabled. Zoya can throw blinding gas instantly. Flash protection mode added, which is awesome. So enabling this mode will change the visual effect of being hit by a flash drone to a darker screen instead of a full whiteout. Magnetic bomb indicator, a special icon will now appear above a character who has a magnetic bomb attached to them, hopefully preventing them from running into their own team and killing a bunch of people. In-game combat and level improvement operations. So audio, the directional sound logic has been optimized and object-based binaural audio has been added for more accurate 3D sound positioning. This can be enabled in settings, audio, HRTF option, and issues with inaccurate sound angles in headphone mode have been fixed, allowing for a clearer distinction between sounds coming from above and below in multi-level buildings. Now, I don't know if some of these audio fixes are also coming to Warfare. They're specifically mentioning it in operations. Hopefully they are. Character combat actions, the lean peak firing mechanic has been improved to address issues where certain actions would cause opponents to expose only very small portions of their head or sides. So same thing in Warfare. As in Warfare, the movement during vaulting has been improved to reduce movement penalties. Zero dam, several map balance points have been adjusted. Item models, the in-match visual size of the micro-reactor and portable military radar items have been optimized. Item inspection, new inspect animations have been added for the Spinosaurus claw fossil, the infantry fighting vehicle model, the portable military radar, the video camera, and luxury mechanical watch. They also added the same thing as in Warfare for the custom throw and deploy methods, so quick throw, hold, and default methods. Same thing, flash protection mode, magnetic bomb indicator, and finally, Brakesh Boss Blue Eagle helicopter. The crash site logic has been optimized to prioritize locations closer to where the helicopter was shot down, with Operation Broken Wings always landing at the helipad. Additionally, the helicopter's patrol routes and the display logic for rocket missile damage have been improved. Actual damage values remain the same. System improvements for all modes. So the display of the mode selection panel has been refined and a quick join button for active events has been added. For the operator profiles, the number of missions required has been optimized and the difficulty of missions has been balanced. So that's where you can unlock customization options for a specific operator, but you have to do missions for it. A lot of them are a little bit difficult. Maybe you need to get melee kills and stuff like that. So we'll have to wait and see what actually changed. For the gunsmith, a sight reticle preview function has been added, allowing players to see how reticle styles will look when modifying the sight. So that's reducing or increasing pupillary distance, and same thing for the zoom. An attachment list filtering function has been added, enabling players to filter attachments based on desired attributes. Weapon modification recommendations have also been updated, so making Gunsmith a little bit more user-friendly. The share code for weapons will now be able to be sent directly via the chat channels. For the collection, the functionality for using selection packs has been optimized, now allowing players to open a custom number of packs at once instead of 10 at a time. The tutorial, the PC version now features in-game tutorials for extraction points with text and images, system gameplay mechanics, and voice guidance. Friend system, a friend note feature has been added, allowing you to customize remarks for your friends. Controls and settings, the mobile version now supports separate controls for jump and mantle actions. It also allows independent setting for the fire interrupts reload function. Mobile input latency, input lag for mobile screen swipes and button presses has been optimized and reduced. The market, the Mandelbrick section now supports pending purchase orders. Deluxe appearances and deluxe charms can be added to watch lists. The process for purchasing previous Mandelbrick items has also been improved for better usability. Random firearm appearance, a function has been added to allow you to enter matches with random firearm appearances. So if you want to just have a random skin every time, now you can. System improvements in Warfare. So the scoreboard statistics adjustment, healing contribution is now calculated as score from healing actions plus score from rescue actions divided by 100. Point capture contribution is now calculated as score from capture actions divided by 100. Engineer contribution is now calculated as score from fortification related actions plus score from vehicle related actions divided by 100. Tactical contribution is now calculated as score from operator gear items plus score from call-in attacks max divided by 100. Not 100% shown what all of this means. If you know, let me know in the comment section down below. Friendly indicators. Distance information has been removed from friendly indicators. The display distance of friendly names has been reduced, and the distance-based scaling of these indicators has been optimized, so hopefully just less clutter on screen. For the gunsmith, the interactive experience when pre-installing and applying loadouts has been improved. The tutorial mobile guidance for the warfare mode has been added, covering being downed, giving up, and redeploying. Grade results optimization. The display now shows remaining double score effects and bonus score amounts. When score protection is active, the reason and remaining uses are displayed. So that's all for the graded version of warfare. Controller connection. When using an Xbox controller on PC, you can connect normally via Bluetooth. For PS5 and some third-party controllers, you will need to switch to a 2.4 GHz or wired connection for gameplay. As a note, controller compatibility is still in development, so you may experience partial functionality with connected controllers, which does not represent the final level of adaptation quality. System improvement in operations. Cheater kill compensation. The algorithm for calculating compensation range has been optimized, and it can now track back and provide compensation for matches from earlier periods, which is awesome. For the auction house, the listing screen now allows you to press on the price histogram to quickly jump to different price points. When the item you've selected is available at a lower price in a supply station, your purchase will be automatically made at that lower supply station exchange price. Exchange and producing recipe adjustments. Exchange profits for limited time items in the T&E lab have been increased. The drop rate of keycards and other rare items in research results have been significantly increased, with a small chance to also obtain materials needed for producing level 6 combat supplies. The exchange and producing recipes for advanced holographic thermal vision and advanced combat thermal sights, as well as other related items, have been adjusted, and new producing recipes related to night vision devices have been added. The Olight Warrior 3S tactical flashlight attachment has been added to the auction house, along with the flashlight collectible materials required for producing it. Recovery system adjustments. So penalties for recovering Technic alloy will no longer directly result in a negative balance. Instead, they will be recorded as recovery debt. A portion of each Technic alloy you will earn will be automatically deducted to repay this debt. You can also manually repay the debt when you have sufficient Technic alloy. Accounts that currently have a negative Technic alloy balance will have their negative recovery amounts adjusted to the new recovery system after its launch. This will no longer affect auction house listings or normal gear purchases in operations. The black site. The screen display and tips have been optimized. A quick material refill function, a recipe marking function, and a finished product price preview function have been added. Rookie tutorial. An operations rookie tutorial specifically for extraction has been added. Gear tickets can now be used to directly apply default weapon appearances. Loadout system. When purchasing ballistic vests, you can now optionally select the desired durability. You can also optionally choose the durability level for carried new meds, and reminders for expired safe box loadouts and night combat loadout suggestions have been added. The allocation of elite gear tickets has been optimized. The quick exchange function has been improved with a price displays and sold out notifications, and the text for carrier restrictions has been optimized. For the stash, the performance of the stash screen has been optimized, and the navigation bar tips on mobile have been improved. Moving on to weapon balance adjustments and optimization for duo modes. I guess this means both modes. The M250 general machine gun base hipfire damage was reduced from 55 to 45. In operation specifically, the abdomen damage multiplier was reduced from 0.9 to 0.7. For the M14 marksman rifle, the range damage falloff was increased, so the damage at 40 meters now starts at 0.8, was previously 0.85. Exclusive attachments, the M14 polymer integral stock attribute changed, so recoil was +4, now control +4. Exclusive attachment, the M14 rail integral stock attribute change, recoil was +8, now it's recoil +2 and control +2. For the SG552, the base damage was increased from 22 to 24, which is interesting. The armor penetration increased from 30 to 31, and the range damage falloff was adjusted. The first range where damage starts to decrease is now 35 meters. It was previously 55 meters, with the damage reduction remaining at 0.85. The second range where damage decreases further is now 65, previously 90 meters, with the damage reduction increasing to 0.7, previously 0.75. So this is for operations. For the AK-12 in operations again, range damage falloff decreased. The damage at 40 meters now starts at 0.9, was previously 0.75. The damage at 70 meters now starts at 0.75, was previously 0.7. For the AUG, headshot damage multiplier increased from 1.9 to 2. The upper chest damage multiplier changed from 1 to 1.1. For the attachments, the 60-round drum mag attribute changed from control -12 to control -6. The Vanguard standard barrel attribute changed. Recoil +4, handling +8, stability -6, and hipfire +8 was changed to recoil +4, handling +2, stability +4, and hipfire -8. For the 3x scope barrel attribute, the recoil was +6, handling -4, hipfire -12. The recoil has now been changed to +4, handling -4, stability +4, and hipfire -12. For the AUG integral suppressor, it used to be recoil +16, control -6, stability -6, and hipfire -16. Now the recoil is +12, control is -10, stability +6, and hipfire -16. So it seems like a lot of these changes are for operations specifically. For the QBZ95, the headshot damage multiplier was increased from 1.9 to 2.3. For the CI19, it was increased from 1.9 to 2.1. For the QJB201 light machine gun, it was increased from 1.9 to 2.1. There's obviously a new caliber of ammo, the 300 Blackout. The first three models all use supersonic ammunition, so that means subsonic rounds, so you do a lot less noise when firing. Shotgun ammo, the chance of shotgun ammo causing character bleeding wounds has been significantly reduced. So moving on to the weapon balance adjustments in Warfare. So the M250, the hand damage multiplier was reduced from 1 to 0.8, which is just funny. The range damage fall off adjusted. So damage at 40 meters now starts at 0.78. It was previously 0.85. At 50 meters, it's now 0.63, previously 0.75. At 70 meters, 0.53, previously 0.55. And at 90 meters, you're now doing 0.48 damage per shot as opposed to previously was 0.45. So basically the damage fall off is now you're doing less damage across the board up to 90 meters, at which point you're doing more damage than you were doing before. So just kind of tuning it so it's not such a laser beam and just an absolute machine at taking down people at range. For the SR3M, the hand damage multiplier was reduced from 1 to 0.9, and the range damage fall off was adjusted. Damage at 25 meters now starts at 0.65, was previously 0.7. At 35 meters, it's now at 0.55, was previously 0.6, and at 45 meters, it's now 0.45, was previously 0.5. So just a lot less damage at range with SR3M. Warfare class weapon pool adjustments. So the Assault Class Edition now has the K416, the K437, and the double barrel shotgun, which are new. So this one is an interesting one because it's for Hack Claw only. So she now has the K416, the PTR32, the double barrel shotgun, and the S12K shotgun. And for Luna, she has the QBZ95 assault rifle and the PTR32 assault rifle. So we're starting to see here weapon distribution based on the character itself. For the Engineer class, they now have access to the QBZ assault rifle, the AK-12, and the double barrel, and support getting the shit end of the stick here with only getting the double barrel shotgun added. A few other improvements and fixes. So they fixed an issue where the PKM firing behaved strangely when using certain low power sights. They optimized the timing of when bullets are added during a reload, making the reload animation feel smoother. They improved the illumination angle, range, and brightness of various flashlight attachments for better visibility on night maps. They slightly reduced the brightness of flashlight beams in third-person view to subtly decrease the risk of being easily spotted on night maps. Operator balance adjustments, I'm almost finished, I promise. For Saneva in both modes, the EOD set cooldown has been reduced from 60 to 45 seconds. The action for moving the shield now involves taking off the helmet first, followed by retracting the blast shield. They increased the throwing distance of wire fences, which is great, it was kind of useless. The number of melee attacks required to destroy a wire fence has been increased from 3 to 5. With the exception of flash grenades and swarm drones, sonic traps, QLL-32 crouching tiger, volt arrows, incendiary grenades, and whirlwind discs will now all cause the blast shield to open. Operations, the EOD set stamina recovery speed adjustment. Previously, stamina began to decrease immediately at 0 seconds and reached 10% after 45 seconds. It now begins to decrease after 45 seconds and reaches 50% after 90 seconds. They added shield bash immunity. After being knocked down 3 times in a row, players will be immune to the blast shield's knockdown effect for 5 seconds. The grapple gun, the time it takes to retrieve the hook after it hits a surface has been reduced from 0.8 seconds to 0.7 seconds. For Warfare, you can now use Warfare gadgets including flamethrowers and welding tools while the EOD set is active. For Shepard in operations, the GE2 frag grenade cooldown has been reduced from 55 seconds to 45 seconds. For Uluru in both modes, loitering munition, the area where it can be hit has been reduced, making less likely to be destroyed by bullets that pass nearby, so just reducing the hitbox. In operations, the incendiary cooldown has been reduced from 55 to 45. The incendiary delay before dealing damage after landing and igniting has been increased from 0.25 seconds to 0.5 seconds, giving more time to escape when the flames start. The incendiary damage results delayed during continuous burning changed from 0.5 seconds to 0, meaning enemies will take damage instantly upon entering sustained flames. The incendiary damage was changed from a constant 16 damage per second to an initial 8 damage per second upon contact, increasing to 20 damage per second after burning for 1.5 seconds. Damage resets when leaving the flames. For Luna in both modes, enemy analysis, when triggered by Volt Arrow and GE2 Frag Grenade, the duration enemies are marked has increased from 0.5 seconds to 1 second, again buffing her wall hacks, which is just, I don't understand why they keep buffing Luna, to be honest. In operations, the GE2 Frag Grenade cooldown has been reduced from 55 seconds to 45 seconds, and the Volt Arrow, when Ricochet is enabled, it will now bounce exactly 1 time. For Toxic in operations, the Dragonfly Swarm system cooldown has been reduced from 120 seconds to 90. Blinding Gas maximum capacity has been increased from 1 to 2. Blinding Gas cooldown has been increased from 35 seconds to 55 seconds. Other improvements and fixes for the characters. So they fixed an issue where Hackclaw's passive ability Silent Step would sometimes fail to activate. Fixed incorrect behavior when Viren used dynamic propulsion in certain situations. Fixed an issue where Seneva's shield would sometimes appear in the wrong position while being held. Fixed an issue where Seneva's observation window would sometimes show incorrect HP values. Fixed an issue where Seneva's shield bass would deal the wrong amount of damage to enemy soldiers. In-game score adjustments for Warfare. King of the Hill score for objective captured by allies has been adjusted from 50 to 150. For Trainwreck map on Attack and Defend, attack line score adjusted from 25 to 35. Hold the line score adjusted from 50 to 60. The Operation Serpentine raid mode has been removed with this new season, so it's now leaving after the season update, and all the raid vouchers can still be exchanged for rewards for 3 weeks after it's gone, but they'll be removed in the following update, so make sure to trade them in while you still can. And they're still working on some exciting new modes that they're hoping to introduce in the near future. These new features will bring fresh experiences and possibilities to Delta Force, so keep an eye out. Oh, so that is all the patch notes for Season 4 of Delta Force. So a lot of things they didn't cover in the actual dev stream, including the addition of a nighttime mode for trench lines, which is great. But yeah, that's it. Launching tonight at 10 p.m. EDT or 7 p.m. Pacific time. Excited to get my hands on the new operator and the new weapons. Yeah, let me know what you're most looking forward to trying out in Season 4 of Delta Force. Link in the description down below if you want to go and read the entirety of the patch notes for yourselves. On that note, I'm checking out. This has been a very, very long video, but thanks for hanging out and sticking around. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.